Okay, be sure to say hi in the comments and we are going to get started. And again, welcome to the official launch of the Flow Show. I am excited about doing this. This is something that is getting me out of my comfort zone, getting me from behind the computer, behind my keyboard, and in front of the camera, sharing my knowledge, bringing what I know to you to help you with your business. And if you hadn't had a chance to check out the announcement video, I just want to let you know real quickly why I decided to go with the Flow Show. So with what I'm doing and as I'm getting back into my groove, my mission is to help entrepreneurs to basically get into the flow. And what that is to get their businesses to a place where they have freedom of choice. So you have the freedom to work as much or as little as you want, the freedom to do what it is that you dreamed about when you first started your business. And then to help you to create a legacy, build a legacy with your business, whether that's going to be leaving it to your children or selling your business or creating something that's going to allow you to make an impact in the world with other people so that they always remember your name, so that your name lives on long after you've stopped doing what it is that you are doing in your business. And then operational excellence. That is going to be one of the keys that's going to help us to achieve freedom, to help us to start building that legacy. Operational excellence is setting your business up in a way that it's efficient, that it can run without you when you're on vacation or just when you get ready to transition out of that particular business. And then the final thing is wealth. That's something that we won't get to right away, but if you are going to stick with me over the next couple of years, we'll start looking at wealth creation. What are our options? Once we've built a business that is operationally efficient, that can run without us, what are we going to do with the income that we've made? What are we going to do with the profit that we've made? Or what are we going to do with our time? So we'll start looking at wealth creation. And we all know that entrepreneurship is one of the keys to start building wealth, working for yourself and, earning revenue, making an impact in the world. So that's the FLOW. We are operating in the flow or getting to a point where we're operating in the flow. And that's how we came up with the Flow Show. Thank you for the fire. Hi, Fernell. I see that you have joined us. Thank you guys for showing up. So let's get right to it. Today we're going to talk about the four pillars of building a business that can thrive without you, even if you never plan to leave. And why we want to get our business to that point is because that's the key to freedom. You want a business that you're not chained to. You don't want to be a slave to your business. And if you have a business that's sellable, you essentially have an asset. And that asset is something that you can eventually sell if you want to, or you can step out of the role of leader ownership and have someone come in and manage the business. So we want to get our businesses to that place. So who this training is for, obviously it's for existing business owners. As entrepreneurs, we tend to wear all of the hats in our business. And so we want to talk about what it's going to take to get us from that place to a place where we are able to step into that exclusive leadership role where we're protecting the vision of the business and where we're able to continue to build on that vision. It's also for new businesses because new businesses, startups, whether you are just starting or if you've been in business 1 or 2 years, we come into a new business with the idea or with the passion of doing what it is that we want to do. I know that with Kiva, her thing was basically creating her own athletic wear or fitness wear so that because she was really into fitness. And when you jump in, that's what you're thinking about. You're thinking about your design, you're thinking about your product, You're thinking about getting it out there, getting customers, but you never think about all of the administrative things that go with it. So as a new business, you want to start with the end in mind. You have that business. It's something exciting, something you want to do. Sometimes it's a hobby that we turn into a business, but we want to look at the end game so that we are planning for that, we're prepared for that. And if you start out looking at these, the 4 pillars that we're going to talk about, if you start out on that path from the beginning, you'll start to build a business that's efficient. You'll have a lot less stress and your business will be more enjoyable. So whether you're an existing established business or a brand new business, we want to help you to understand what it takes to start building a business that's going to essentially be an asset for you. So if you are excited about that, you want to hear more about that, just let me know in the comments, say me. So the first P or pillar is processes. We're going to talk about establishing processes in your business and why that's important. But first, I want to distinguish between systems and processes because a lot of people use those words interchangeably. No matter where you are in your business, if you're a brand new business or, if you've been in business for a while, you have every system that you need in your business right now where you are. So whether that's your accounting system, if you're a brand new business, you may not need an extravagant accounting system. You have what it is that you need. You have a way to collect payments. You're keeping track of your payments. You have a bank account. If you're an established business, you may have a bookkeeper. You may have a full-on accountant in the business. But wherever you are in your business now, you have all of the systems that you need. Within those systems are processes. These processes are what help you to run your business smoothly. It's how you get things done. So we want to make sure that we distinguish when we hear people say, set your systems up or, talk about processes, systems and processes. Know that they go hand in hand. That your processes are a part of your systems. And again, your processes are either, the step-by-step, and we'll make it simple. We'll just say the step-by-step way to get things done in your business. So whatever task is that you need to have completed, whether that's how to process an order, how orders come in, what you do when they come in, those are your processes. And those are really what we need to focus on to get or create a business that's going to run smoothly. And most of us have all of this information in our head, and getting those out of our heads and getting them documented is one of the first steps to freedom, because it makes it easier for you to get someone in there and show them what to do without having to spend a lot of time training them. So basically what you want to do, what your goal should be with your processes, again, is taking a brain dump, getting all of that out of your head, and then setting your business up in a way where somebody off the street could come into your business and basically hit the ground running without you having to tell them what to do. You want to have what I call off the street documentation. Have those documented so that you can bring that person in, say, here, this is where we keep our processes. This is your job. And so this is what you need to do this particular job. Does anybody have any questions about that before I go on? It's a slight delay, so I'll go on and then I'll come back. Hi, Kendra. Thank you for showing up. And so the next pillar is going to be people. And for a lot of us, no matter where we are in our businesses, it's a tough pill for us to swallow, because we know that eventually we are going to need people, or we may have people already, but it's kind of hard for us to let go of our baby, let go of our dream, and we feel like nobody can do it the way we do it. But if you are going to run a successful business, and if you're going to eventually achieve that freedom and operational excellence, you're going to have people in place, and you're going to have to trust those people to be able to do the job the way you would do it. And that's where your processes come in, because you've basically taken yourself and put it in a format where you're basically cloning yourself through your processes. The first person that we want to look at when we look at people is going to be your replacement. And that's something that is not taught. It's just not taught in general. You need to start out with that in mind. If you're a brand new business, it may be it may be something that's going to take you a while, because where we are right now in our business, we haven't identified our replacement, because all of our children are entrepreneurial and all of them are focused on their God-given talents. So there's not, no particular child that we can just point out and say, this is the person that we're going to groom to step in so that we can, start doing other things or transitioning ourselves out of the business. So if that is you, if you don't have someone close to you or someone in your family that is suitable to step up as the replacement in your business, it may be where you have to bring somebody in, again, off the street and groom them to be your replacement. Now, that may not be the person that you are going to leave your business to, but it'll be a key person in your business that allows you to step away and get to that point where you're able to take a 4-week vacation. Or, maybe you beyond that 4-week vacation, you want to take a 2-month vacation, or maybe you just want to be gone for a year. But regardless of how long you are away, you can be away and be disconnected and come back with your business probably doing better than it was before you left. The other people that you want to think about or consider are just the people on your team. These people are also going to be key to helping you get freedom. So if you were to do an organization chart right now of what you want your business to look like in the next 2 years or the next 5 years, and you put all the different roles in the business beyond what you're doing now. You have an accountant, you have a marketing person, you have someone in sales, but right now your name would be in every one of those boxes. So getting that big picture in front of you, number one, it gives you a goal, and then it allows you to start looking at the people that you need to bring in to fill those different roles, so that you're, removing one hat at a time. Get to the place where you can delegate and say, I'm not going to do this anymore because it's keeping me from doing the main thing that I need to be doing right now. And so you need to have your team come in and have them well trained. That goes back to having the right processes in place and understanding what your systems are, so that you can start freeing yourself up from the business and getting to that place where you're able to not just take a vacation. I keep saying that because I guess I want one, but just so that you can, what if you have other visions or other passions, or what if there's another piece of your business that you want to develop? I know Renata has 2 businesses that she's working on right now. She has the boutique and the nail shop. What if there's, something else that she wants to do? If she's the only one that can run those businesses, or that she trusts to run those businesses, then she's basically stuck. Again, we don't want to be trapped. We don't want to be a slave to what we have going on. We want to build a business that gives us freedom, or whatever it is that we dream about. You want to have your business support your lifestyle. It shouldn't be the other way around. And then the third category of people that is often overlooked when it comes to building a successful business are your customers and clients, because you want to have the processes in place to make sure that your customers are satisfied, make sure that the products and services are delivered on time, and that your products and services are solving the problem that your customers and clients are coming to you for. So you want to make sure that that piece of the people puzzle is also addressed and taken care of. And when you begin to document your processes and systems, that's something that you'll definitely want to have in place. You'll want to have your guidelines on communication and your guidelines on customer service in place, so that, if your customers and clients aren't happy, you aren't making money. And if you aren't making money, you're going to struggle, and you'll eventually go out of business. I'm just checking the comments before I go on. Right, Kiva says that she does documentation on her 9 to 5, and it's not necessarily that it doesn't click, is that you're not thinking about it because you're so focused on your product, getting all of your products in place, getting your sales process in place, and making sales, probably so that you can eventually get out of that 9 to 5. But if you are working in a 9 to 5, if you've ever worked in corporate America, you know that one of the most important things for them is having those systems and processes in place. Your procedures manual, or whatever it is they call it. McDonald's is notorious for that, and pretty much they're the model. The franchise model is what you're shooting for. McDonald's can bring in their crew members, plug them into the system, and for the most part, the ideal situation is that you go in and you get your food the same way every time. Even with Pizza Hut, they know exactly, how much meat, how much cheese, how much of a specific ingredient to put on a pizza, and that's because they're following a process. So yeah, the things that you're doing on your job, if you have a 9 to 5, those things are transferable. And before you rush to get out, start just paying attention to what's happening at your job, and start looking at how you can apply that to your own business, once you leave, or as you are starting to transition out. Okay, if this is making sense to you, if you're finding this valuable, just drop some emojis in the comments and let me know. Drop a heart emoji, drop a fire emoji, and just let me know in the comments. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next pillar, and that is productivity. And a few weeks ago, I heard this and it's really stuck with me, and I've basically adapted it. But what we all need to know is productivity is shit. And what I mean about that, the way productivity is being taught, or the way it's defined, it essentially is one of the things that keep us chained to our business and keep us a slave to our business. The way productivity is defined is being able to get more done in less time in your business. That's not what we want to shoot for. We want to be able to set up our business in a way that it runs efficiently, so that the things we do need to be done, we're eliminating waste. We're not wasting time. We're not wasting resources. We're doing everything more efficiently, which is going to help us to be more productive, but more productive with fewer errors. When you're trying to cram in a lot in a little bit of time, that's when you start to have errors. That's when you start to get unhappy customers. And you miss things, you miss steps, because you're trying to run through. When you have your processes and systems in place, things are run more smoothly and more efficiently, because you have a checklist. This is done this way and this way. So the goal is not to bring in your people and pile on as much work on them as you can, which is probably what a lot of us have seen in our 9 to 5s. We're working way more hours than we need to, because we're trying to be productive. We're trying to meet certain quotas. We're trying to meet certain goals. So when we're looking at productivity. We want to aim for efficiency. We want to get to that point where basically less is less. You know, we're not looking for more. We're looking to be able to do the least work we can to get to get the best results, to deliver the best product, to deliver the best service, but do it efficiently and in excellence. And one of the keys to doing that is managing your time. Look at where you're spending your time. Are you on social media all day? Are you taking phone calls from family and friends? Are you texting? You know, are you sneaking to watch the latest, trash TV episode, whether you're working for someone or whether you're on your own time? Are you finding ways to basically sabotage yourself, your time, your efficiency? So you want to look at that, look at how you manage your time, rein that in, reallocate it so that you are you're being more productive in that way without necessarily trying to find more things to do to create something else. Look at what you have already and work on being more efficient in what you're producing or in your productivity. Does that make sense to everybody? I see the emojis. I see the fire Kiva, thank you. The hearts, Ontario, thank you. Does anybody have any questions so far before we go on to the last piece? And I'll just take a sip of water. Okay, so we're going to go on to that last pillar, and that is profit. The profit in your business is one of the measurements of success. And for the small business, that's usually something that we don't see because, we make a sale, we take that money and we either we're trying to catch up on our own personal bills or we're putting that money back into our businesses. We're looking for the next, great thing to buy. If you have an online business, somebody's trying to sell you a platform that's going to help you sell your product or your service. Somebody's wanting you to buy Shopify because that's the best. Somebody's wanting you to buy ClickFunnels because you need a funnel. Somebody's trying to sell you a payment processing system because it's the absolute best. So, somebody's trying to tell you that you need to put this much money into Facebook ads without giving you the strategy on how to make those ads work for you. So we get the money, and as soon as it comes in, it goes back out. The formula that we've been taught, and if you're an accountant or if you've taken accounting, you're probably familiar with this, but that formula is flawed, and it's what keeps small companies broke or struggling. And we've been taught that sales minus expenses is profit. So whatever you have left over after you, paid all of your bills, after you, covered all of your expenses, that's what you have left over. In this group, in this community, my goal is for you is to flip that, to change that mindset regarding profit, where we're looking at sales minus profits equals expenses. So we want to get you to a place where you're taking your profit right off the top. I know a lot of you, if your grandmothers were around when you were growing up, or even your parents, they may have told you that you want to pay yourself first. I know that we hear that a lot, and that's with regard to savings. Who's heard that before? Let me know in the comments if you've heard that saying, you need to pay yourself first. That's exactly what you need to do in your business. And we'll talk about that. I'm putting together a training on that. We'll probably do it as a challenge so that we can all do it together. But you want to make sure that when those sales come in, that you take that profit off the top and set that aside. Then you're going to make sure that you have an account set up to pay yourself. How many of you are not paying yourself out of your businesses? Either because you feel guilty, or because you don't know how to pay yourself, or because you're putting that money back into the business. Some of you, if you have employees, you want to make sure those employees get paid. And if they're working for you, then obviously they need to be paid, but you are the key employee in your business. So you want to make sure that you get paid. The other thing is taxes. That's something that we ignore and we get in trouble with at the end of the day. And I know that some of you in here might be tax specialists, so you know that when your clients come to you, especially your business clients, even personal clients, they haven't prepared for that tax bite. So you want to make sure, you don't want to look at that as in a negative way. You want to look at it in a way that if you're having to pay taxes, then you're making money, but you don't want to be at that point where you don't see the money that you made. So you want to take that profit, take your pay, make sure that you're being paid first, make sure that your taxes are covered, and then you have your expenses. So what that means is that you're going to have to learn to budget and allocate what's set aside for the operating expenses in your business. You're not going to go over here and rob Peter to pay Paul. You're going to make that work. If there's something else that you feel like you need for expansion, then that means you need to work on your sales or cut back in some other areas. So I'm not going to go too deep into that, but that's a training that we will get into a little bit later in this business. So you look at your profit. When you see your profit, that means that you're growing and that you're on the path to freedom when you have control of your profit and if you're using it in the right way. And that profit is going to give you more freedom in your business, because that profit is the piece that comes to you. And when we talk about this, when we go through that training, it's going to blow your mind, because it's not what we've been taught as business owners. And so just to recap, the 4 pillars to building a business that can thrive without you, even if you never plan to leave, are processes. Make sure you have those in place and documented. The people, making sure you have the right people in the right seats, doing the right jobs and in the right amount. You don't want to pile on a lot of work on your people. Having your replacement in place so that you can start grooming them to get you that freedom that you want. Productivity, making sure that we are doing things in the most efficient way, and your profit, making sure that you master your profit strategy so that you are seeing your profit at the end of the month or at the end of the year, and that you are also paying yourself. And that's basically having all of those things in place will get your business in a better place, whether you're a brand new business just starting out. And if you're brand new, it's better because you don't start out with bad habits. If you're an existing business and you find yourself just spinning your wheels in your business and you don't see light at the end of the tunnel, making sure those things are dialed in is going to set you on a different path and to help you to start seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. And again, I'll be doing more training on these topics. If there's anything that you don't understand about these 4 things, any challenges, specific challenges on these 4 pillars or 4 P's that you're having in your business, drop it in the comments and let me know. And I can, probably create future trainings on that and go into a little bit more detail. Right, Kiva, not paying yourself and recycling into the business. That is a habit that we all have. We want our business to grow. We, feel like we need to sacrifice. And I mean, sacrifice is something that's going to come up, but we also need to be focused on paying ourselves, because if you aren't able to meet your own personal obligations, then eventually that business is going to become unsatisfying to you. So you want to make sure that you are getting paid for all of your work. You are welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, Kiva. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Yep, that we were taught to pay ourselves first from a personal perspective, putting money in savings, and it's something that we need to apply in our own businesses. Okay, thank you all for showing up. I hope this was valuable for you. And next week we will continue. I think that the next week we are going to, and I haven't really settled on this, but I think next week we'll look at how to make whether your business is recession proof or not. I'm not sure on that. If that's something that you want to learn about, just let me know. Drop a comment. If you are watching this on the replay and you have questions, drop your questions in the comments and we will get back to you. Otherwise, thank you again for showing up. And hi, Sharonda. I see that you popped in. Thank you for coming in. But I will see you all on the inside of the group. And I have an announcement to make. I'm not going to do it now, probably tomorrow. But just know that I am watching you in the group. And I'll make an announcement tomorrow. So if you haven't done your intro post, go ahead and do that. Make sure you post a selfie with it. Let us know where you are. And I just want to remind everybody that we don't want any external links. So, don't put any links to your pages or website because we want to keep everybody in the group. And it's really for the algorithm, for the Facebook algorithm, because they're looking at the activity in the group. And we want to show up as a valuable community so that we can bring other like-minded business owners into the group. So that's it. I'm not going to keep rambling. Thank you all for showing up and have a great week.